Did you hear what Trump said today about vaccine and how that came out? Did you hear the comments?
No.
So Trump made comments, a Newsweek story. I think that's the one right there. Yeah, so he says Donald Trump supporters turned on him over vaccine defense, sold out so hard. So go up a little bit, go up a little bit, go up a little bit, where he says, during a recent appearance on the conservative podcast, Water Cooler, Trump praised his administration for Operation Warp Speed, rollout of the vaccine, and for helping save tens of millions of lives. Trump refused to get drawn when host David Brody pushed the suggestion that the vaccines were not as safe or effective as medical experts said. So you have to understand there are pros and cons. Some reports say that it's the greatest thing
He's
that's
not
ever
a
happened.
vaccinologist.
Yeah.
And we saved tens of millions of lives. Then you'll read other reports that say there were some problems with the vaccine, but relatively small numbers, Trump said.
Yeah, well, when you think of the overall number, yeah, of course.
So, but here's a question, though. Here's a question. But, you have many reports that the vaccine saved tens of millions of lives. Trump added without the vaccines, you would have had a thing where perhaps 100 million people would have died. Okay.
That's a Trumpism.
Before I give you my thoughts on this, do you guys have any thoughts? Because I got some thoughts on this. What do you think?
On just his...
What he said, yeah.
So nothing surprises me about Trump. He's a guy who'll say, nobody loves the Bible more than me. He just says these things. Nobody loves Muslims more than I do. So he has this tendency to, what's it called, exaggerate. But I mean, it's unbelievable. The guy's unbelievable.
It's in his nature, right?
But
it's
for
like
me,
your son, your 10-year-old son.
I can't stop. He's my 10. I can't stop watching him. Yeah. He's either my drunk uncle or my 10-year-old son. I can't stop watching him because he cracks me up with that, because he's just got the gall to do that, and I think he's aware of that. But for me, I think a lot of the stuff, like I just listened to Brett Weinstein, evolutionary biologist on Rogan. I'm not an immunologist.
Sick, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not an immunologist, vaccinologist. I don't know anything. But when you hear people who are not only biologists talking to top tier scientists in that space, and they're casting doubts, but I always say that we didn't know a lot at the time. A lot of mistakes were made. There was desperation. There was panic. I was always against the blanket shutdowns. It made no sense to me. I always had a problem with the idea that masks were going to... It just didn't make sense. I was flying too much, and you take them off, and you put them on.
Yeah.
I just didn't buy it. So I'm very weary of all that government bureaucracy. That's my thought.
You got thoughts on this before I give you mine?
Go for it.
Let me tell you what I think he's doing. Okay. So, do you guys remember when he first said warp speed vaccine is going to be ready in 9 months?
Of course.
Do you remember what Biden, Kamala Harris, and everybody on the left said?
I wouldn't put that on my body.
I wouldn't take. Okay.
Yes.
So let me tell you what he's doing. People think this guy is like a lightweight, just emotional, all this other stuff. He is making the left. Okay. Imagine if it gets to a point where the left now starts saying we have to investigate the credibility of vaccine, whether it was the right move to do or not, and it was all Trump's fault, okay? I don't know if you understand where I'm going with this. So he may be cornering them to have to come out and say, well, some of the studies shows maybe this is not good for you, and heart attack and all this other stuff.
He's a political animal.
He's good. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
he's a gangster.
This guy is just maybe toying with them to get CNN to respond, to get that clip and say, boom, motive. I'm going to run with that for the next 6 to 12 months and tell you, you just messed up. Okay? What you said was the best thing I came up with. So either accept the fact that it was done in 9 months because of me, or realize that it's not good for everybody. It's on you. So what do you want to do here?
It's
pick
a
and choose.
for him.
So it's a double-edged sword game he's playing with everybody. And again, I'm thinking that's the strategy.